Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you another episode of Coffee with Coach. Hope you're up doing well. Got the mind in the right place. If not, as always, let's put it in the right place. So today, I want to share with you something I just picked up, something I just heard, as I'm listening to hours of some investment stuff I'm listening to, and it all relates to life, to jiu-jitsu, to everything. And so. When I heard this, it just grabbed my attention, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty deep. And it just kind of relates, like I said, to everything. So this guy I'm listening to, he's talking about, fear, okay, and what that does to you. And he said, fear is just basically a lack of wisdom, a lack of knowledge, not knowing something. So you don't know something, you're scared to try, you're scared to do, scared to give it a shot because you just don't have the skill set or the knowledge to apply yourself in a certain area, so you just won't do it, right? And I think about when I started thinking about this in relationship to jiu-jitsu, it works like big time with my students, right? Like, so we do these competition rounds, or we're giving instructions during the live rounds when the entire class is going or whatever. Because sometimes I'm coaching, like just coaching the round and the whole class is grappling. Or we're doing a specific competition round where it's just two people and everyone's watching and we're giving instructions. And certain individuals, well, it's like playing a video game. They'll just do what they're being instructed to do, what they're told to do. And most of the time, they will come out victorious and have their hand raised. It's the individuals that don't listen, that don't take the instruction. Those are the ones that normally struggle and then don't get their hand raised in class, in practice, and in like a real competition at a tournament. And a lot of that has to do with just, again, the fear of like, well, I'm not good at this. Okay, because normally when I ask a student, like, well, why didn't you try what you were being instructed to do? The advice that you were given was really good advice. It was the correct advice. Why didn't you do that? And most of the time, it is, well, I didn't want to lose my position. I didn't want to get flipped over. I didn't want to, whatever, like they were in a comfortable position, okay, right? So that's how I said you can relate this to everything in life. You're comfortable, okay, you're in a good spot, and you don't want to lose that good spot by taking a chance at really winning at the round, okay, because you're not really sure how that's going to turn out, because you're not really, what if you end up on the bottom? What if you lose that position you're in and you end up in a spot that you're not that comfortable with or that knowledgeable in? You don't have that much wisdom in it, in that position that you think you might end up in versus the position that you're in now. You know it very well. You're very comfortable with that position. So you're holding on to it really, really tight. You're grasping onto that comfortable position. You don't want to let it go. And as a result of holding on to that really good position that you're really good with, nothing happens, okay? You don't really come out, the growth isn't there because you don't want to see what's on the other side. Like, what if I go for this move and what if I get it versus what if I go for this technique and what if I lose it and I end up in this position on the bottom? The fear in the mind takes over and like, yeah, I'm not trying that. I'm not going to do that. And I had the exact scenario I'm giving you kind of just happened the other day during one of the competition rounds, and we're given this instruction, and this is the response that I got in return. And it's pretty much the response all the time is, well, I didn't want to lose that position because if I lose that position, I'm not good at the other position, like basically getting out of bad positions. I'm not good at being on the bottom, right? And so that's the biggest struggle I have with most of my students, okay, the majority of them. Life is really good when you're on top of someone, okay? Gravity's on your side. You got all the oxygen you can breathe is up here versus when you're flipped over on your back and you're on the bottom, and you have the gravity coming down on you and the person on top of you putting weight and pressure on you, and they're big and strong and they're aggressive, and you panic and you freeze up, and your mind goes crazy, and you start doing things that you're not supposed to do because of fear, lack of knowledge, the lack of wisdom. So the advice is, why don't you get that knowledge? Why don't you get that wisdom? Why don't you get what it is that you need to get so that you can be comfortable with that? And that's what jiu-jitsu is supposed to. That is jiu-jitsu. Like, jiu-jitsu is the bottom game. Like, it's the bottom. Like, taking a smaller opponent, a weaker opponent, putting them on their back and having someone bigger, stronger on top of them, and being able to have the confidence and the knowledge and the wisdom and the comfortableness to be able to be on the back and be like, cool, like, I'm good here. I'm not like, I live in this position. Like, this is no problem for me. I'm not going to freak out because I'm in this position. And that's the struggle that I have as a coach, that I have for so many years, and I will continue for as long as I continue coaching and I'm no longer on this earth. It will always be that struggle of getting students to be on their back in the most uncomfortable position, to learn how to get comfortable with that, get the knowledge and the wisdom that they need so that they have the confidence to be like, hey, if I end up in this position, no sweat, no problem. I know how to get out. I'm in a bad spot right now, but I'm gonna be okay. I'm all right. I'm good, and I'm gonna get out. And so, like, whoever like needs to hear this, like, take that. Okay, all my jiu-jitsu practitioners out there that are avoiding the bad positions, the weaker positions, the bottom game. Again, like life is good. Like, if you're on top, man, like, you're winning, but you're not really winning because your bottom game doesn't match your top game. I don't know how many times I've told so many students that, like, you're two different people. When you're on top, you can see the confidence level in you. You can see the facial expressions and the grind. Like, you're trying to give the business to the person on the bottom. But then when you get flipped over and you're on your back, it's a look of panic, you know, a look of like, get me out of here. I don't want to be here no more. It's completely two different people in the same body. It's amazing to watch, okay? Versus, like, for me as a coach, I try to be like a good example. Like, I'm very comfortable on the bottom. Like, I'll pull guard in a minute. Like, I mean, I have takedowns, but like, you know, I have, you know, the strategy, at least for me, like, all the time is like, I like earning the top position. I want to pull guard, sweep my opponent, get on top, and then destroy him after that, and like crush them and put all kind of pressure on them and demoralize them with just, you know, my weight and my pressure and the way I do things. But it's earned. It's earned. I got the person from the being on the, when I was on the bottom, to on top, and then I come and apply that heavy pressure and then destroy my opponent on the bottom, because I know most people don't want to be there. So that's the strategic, like, mindset of it. It was like, once I get this person on their back, they're a completely different person. It's over. It's a different fight. I just got to be able to manage and withstand this storm while I'm on the bottom for a minute or so, or however long it takes me to get them flipped over. And once I sweep them over into the other position and they're on the bottom, then I know that the lack of knowledge and the lack of wisdom kicks in, and the fear kicks in, and they panic, and it's not the same person, and I know I'm going to win. That's just the way I think. That's just the way my mind works. So I earn that top position by pulling guard or being on the bottom, being in the less dominant position first, getting to the more dominant position last, and putting my opponents in that other position. And it's a great feeling because I just know that they're not good at that. And that fear kicks in. So when I heard this guy say that, like, it was the first thing that clicked in my mind, was like, man, it just relates to jiu-jitsu big time. Like that's just my students, or that's just opponents, or just people that I've grappled over the years. Like when I'm on top of them versus when they were on top of me, it's a different person. It's not the same individual. And it's amazing because it's like I'm grappling the same person, but once the position changes, it's a completely different person. Like, what happened to that person? And it's simple. Their lack of knowledge and their lack of wisdom and the lack of being comfortable in the bottom position takes over. So the fear kicks in, and they start pushing and doing all the wrong steps and all the wrong things. And then I smash them after that and make them tap or whatever. So really good stuff. I mean, if you really want to have confidence in whatever, okay, business, investment, like whatever, life, just period, and especially jiu-jitsu, whatever you're fearing, you need to go and get more knowledge of, okay, spend more time with it, get more comfortable with it, to be so that you can become an individual where like you don't fear that anymore, because it's like I know this stuff, like I really know this stuff, like I get it, I understand it, I can apply it, I can put it into action, I know all the mechanics of this position, like no worries, you know what I'm saying? So like just change your mindset with that. But most people won't. So I will continue to smash certain students, I will continue to smash certain opponents, because I know that they're not willing to put themselves in those positions like I am. Like I am good in so many comfortable positions that aren't good positions, that are on the bottom, that, you know, I know I'm going to be okay. And it's just a matter of time before I get out of those positions, work my way out and get to a good one, and then really get to work. Okay. So, really good stuff. Take that with you, apply it starting today. It's Monday's beginning of the work week. And do something with it. Like make something happen with that. Like change the mentality, change the way you think, change your jiu-jitsu game, change your life, like with whatever, by getting the knowledge that you need to get. And actually I was having this conversation before I let you go, because I'm already like way behind time here and get up to the school, is I was telling someone the other day that the amount of time and hours that I spend listening to financial stuff, investment stuff, even like jiu-jitsu stuff, like motivation stuff, like how people think and whatever, is way greater than most people, because when they grab their phone, they're looking for entertainment as far as like silly stuff to post, memes, videos, gossip, news, you know, whatever, that isn't really food for the brain. It isn't fuel to like make you grow or get better. And I wasn't trying to knock this person, but they agreed with me, because there's no way they can agree with me, because they, you know, it's just what it is. Like most people, when they, throughout their day, they're not really trying to attain knowledge. They're just being entertained on their phone. Where for me, I spend a good portion of my morning, my day, attaining knowledge, listening to stuff, so that I can get more comfortable in all other areas, so that I can go and apply these things and do these things because I know it. You know, like I'm trying to get better at knowing it and stuff like that. So anyways, just some stuff to think about, some food for thought for you guys out there when you are, you don't want to try anything new. You don't want to come out of your comfort zone. It's just fear of just lack of knowledge. And once you get that knowledge, then the fear goes away, because you're like, well, I know this stuff. Okay. So anyways, you guys have a great day. Catch you guys on the next one. We'll see you.